Hello everyone, a very good morning to all. So in this video, we'll be discussing about analysis of redox cycle. So far, we have discussed about the electrode potentials, about the how electrode potential data helps us to predict the feasibility of the reaction, how it can help us to know the extent of reaction by the calculation of the equilibrium constant. So actually, what are electrode potential? Electrode potential values tells us how what is the extent of any species to undergo oxidation or to undergo reduction. More positive is the value, more is its tendency to get reduced. More negative is the value of the electric potential, more is its tendency to undergo oxidation. So it can also be understood in the terms of energy changes. So it can also be called as the energy change associated with the conversion of metal into, if it is undergoing reduction, that means it is gaining electrons, so that means it is getting converted from uh, it is changing its oxidation state. If it is undergoing oxidation, that means its positive oxidation number is getting increased in the positive direction. So if it is undergoing reduction, so that means its oxidation number is undergoing change in the negative direction. So electropotential can be termed as the energy change to convert a metal in its normal solid form to aqueous ion and vice versa. So this can also be understood in the form of energy. So let us consider the oxidation reaction. Here we have the oxidation of, here M is the metal which is in the solid form. It is undergoing oxidation. That means it is losing n number of electrons, and it is here it has got changed to Mn positive. That means the valency is n positive. So for the above written chemical change to take place, let us see what energy changes are involved here. So first step is the metal solid. It will get converted to the gaseous form. If it wants to lose an electron, if it wants to undergo oxidation, that means it will have to first change into gaseous form. Only then it can lose electrons, because ionization energy is the energy required to remove the electrons from the isolated gaseous atom. It cannot lose electrons directly from the solid form, so it will first undergo sublimation. First step is the metal solid will get converted into metal gaseous. That means sublimation is the energy which is required for this step. Second step will be ionization of the gaseous metal. Here, metal in the gaseous form will get converted to the ion in the gaseous form. That means ionization energy is the energy involved. Third is the hydration of gaseous ion. Now, this gaseous ion will undergo hydration. That means it will again get converted into the aqueous form, because here it is undergoing this change. The overall change is metal solid to metal ion in the aqueous form. The third step is the metal ion in the gaseous form will get converted to the metal ion in the aqueous form. So that means hydration energy is the energy required here. So if we want to represent all the three reactions in the form of cyclic, if you remember the similar thing we have done in the Born-Haber cycle while writing the equation for the combination. Say we were calculating the lattice energy or overall energy changes. We write the whole reactions involved in the formation of positive ion and the negative ion, and their combination gives us the overall energy. So here also the three steps are, this is a overall step which is represented by overall E or Q. Here it is first step, that is sublimation energy, second step is ionization energy, and third step here is the hydration energy. So with the three steps, this cycle is getting complete. So that is why it is termed as redox cycle for the oxidation half. So these are the energy changes. The E is, so here, from here we can say that this overall energy is equal to delta Hs plus ionization energy plus hydration energy. Now here delta Hs is sublimation energy. It is given the positive sign because it is energy required for conversion of solid to gaseous form. Ionization energy is also an energy required. That is why it is given the positive sign. And the hydration energy is always the energy is released. So it is given the negative sign. So for E, more negative value means it is a better reducing agent. So the value of delta Hs and I That means sublimation energy and I should be less and hydration energy should be more for a better reducing agent. So for alkali metals, lithium, they will be discussing the case study of the alkali metals here in a while. Here is the table. So here if we see, these are the alkali metals. Here are the energy values written, here are the potential values given. So if we see the value of sublimation for the conversion of lithium to lithium positive is here, it is written here in the form of reduction. So it is sublimation energy is it is decreasing as we move down the group. Ionization potential is also decreasing. The decrease in sublimation energy is due to the increase in size, and ionization potential is also decreasing due to increase in size, and hydration energy, which is given the negative sign, is also decreasing because size is increasing, and lithium is having maximum hydration energy. If we see these two terms, according to this here also it is written that reduction potential of lithium should have minimum negative value, but here it is maximum negative value. That means it has highest tendency to undergo oxidation because it is given highest negative value. So from this is due to because its hydration energy is highest here. So when hydration energy is highest, that means highest hydration energy is due to its smallest size. Smaller is the size, more is the hydration. So here we have written the overall energies, that is value of E. So here it is 137, for sodium it is 169. Here if you see, this E is it has the overall positive sign. So that means this is the energy required for the oxidation of lithium to lithium positive. So that means uh, um, here we can see that less energy is required for the conversion of lithium to lithium positive, and then comes the next is potassium, then comes rubidium, then comes the cesium, and then in last sodium. So this justifies the order of potential values, that lithium is having maximum value of oxidation potential. If we ignore this negative, remove this negative sign, that means these are the oxidation potentials. So that means the more the value of oxidation potential here, more is going to be its tendency to undergo oxidation. So also the lower the energy required for this conversion, more is going to be the tendency for the lithium to get converted to the lithium ion. So this also, this electropotential data calculated using these energy values also indicates that lithium is having maximum tendency to undergo oxidation. Then comes cesium, then comes rubidium, then comes potassium, and then comes sodium. This is based upon these energy values, overall energy. Lower the energy required, more is the tendency. जितनी ज्यादा जितनी कम हमें एनर्जी चाहिए होगी फॉर दिस कन्वर्जन ऑफ लिथियम इनटू लिथियम पॉजिटिव, उतना ही ज्यादा उसका ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल होगा, which is indicated here. दिस इज वाई उतना ही ज्यादा ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल होगा, इसीलिए लिथियम का ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल सबसे ज्यादा है, और वी कैन से इसका रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल नेगेटिव साइन के साथ सबसे ज्यादा है, बिकॉज इसको कन्वर्ट करने के लिए लिथियम को लिथियम पॉजिटिव आयन में सबसे कम एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड है. क्लियर? आई होप दिस पॉइंट इज क्लियर. सो नेक्स्ट वी हैव, सो यहाँ से अब हम बोल सकते हैं, अगर हम वापस इस इन एनर्जीज को देखें, डाउन द ग्रुप डेल्टा एच एस डिक्रीज होता है, आयनाइजेशन पोटेंशियल भी डिक्रीज होता है, और डेल्टा एच हाइड्रेशन भी डिक्रीज हो रही है. तो एनर्जी की, ओवरऑल एनर्जी की जो वैल्यू आ रही है उस पर ही डिपेंड करेगा कि कौन कितना बेटर रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट है. जितनी कम वैल्यू होगी पॉजिटिव साइन के साथ, इसको आप इग्नोर कीजिए, जितनी कम वैल्यू होगी, जितनी छोटी वैल्यू होगी, जितनी कम एनर्जी चाहिए होगी, उतना ही बेटर वो रिड्यूसिंग एजेंट होगा, उतनी ही आसानी से वो उसका ऑक्सीडेशन हो पाएगा. सो यहाँ पे हमने एग्जांपल डिस्कस किया इस केस को डिस्कस करने के लिए alkali metals का. Next we have the reduction half. Here we are considering the reduction half of halogens. So these are the steps involved. This is the overall step here. What is happening is half of A2 is gaining an electron and getting gain n number of electrons and get converted to aqueous form of A and negative. So first, what energy will be needing? Dissociation energy. There will be dissociation of A2 into A, and this is already in gaseous form, so no sublimation energy. First energy required is dissociation energy. Then gaseous form में हमें क्या required होगा? Electron affinity. Electron affinity में से क्या हो जाएगा? It will get converted to gaseous ion, and then hydration will take place for the gaseous ion, and it will get converted to aqueous ion. So this is the overall E. Here we have written half of D, because here only single A is required. Here two A's are there, that is why it is written as half of D. It is positive because it is energy required. Electron affinity is energy release, so that is why it is a negative sign. And hydration energy is also the energy release, that is why it is having negative sign. So these are the energy changes which are contributing towards the electrode potential. But E is related to delta G. So here what it is trying to say that these energies are here this is actually if you remember what is delta G is delta H minus P delta S. So actually electrode potentials are in general related to delta G values, not delta H values. These are delta H values. Here what they have done is entropy terms have been ignored uh, have been neglected. So to simplify the calculation, so here delta H is taken as equivalent to delta G. So here from here we can say that delta H is equal to minus NF E naught cell, because if we say delta S term is 0, then delta G is going to be equal to delta H. So from here this formula becomes delta H is equal to NF E naught cell. So here this is the thing which is considered, that from here delta H is calculated, we can put it here and calculate E naught. So based upon this whole process energy cycles we have done so far, हम यहाँ से क्या प्रेडिक्ट कर सकते हैं अबाउट द एल्कली मेटल व्हिच वी जस्ट डिस्कस्ड. एंड सेकंड है, हम जो केस डिस्कस करेंगे, जो हमने ये रिडॉक्स साइकिल डिस्कस किया अबाउट द फॉर्मेशन ऑफ एनाइंस, हम हेलाइड्स का केस डिस्कस करेंगे यहाँ पे. लेट्स गेट टू द टेबल फॉर हेलाइड्स. सो दिस इज द केस फॉर हेलाइड्स. इनके केस में क्या है, अगर हम देखें यहाँ पे डिसोसिएशन एनर्जी है which will get convert F2 into half of F, that is single F. Then electron affinity, which is the energy released for the conversion of gaseous atom into gaseous ion. Then hydration energy. So these two terms are negative and this is positive. So here we have written the overall delta H. So here we can see that it is energy released because it is negative sign. So maximum energy is released for fluorine. So that means जितनी ज्यादा energy release हो रही है उतना ज्यादा अच्छा है, उतना ही ज्यादा उसकी टेंडेंसी होगी टू अंडरगो रिडक्शन टू गेन द इलेक्ट्रॉन. सो यहाँ पे भी ये प्रिडिक्ट हो रहा है कि जो रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल की जितनी ज्यादा वैल्यू होती है, हमने अभी डिस्कस किया था कि उतना ही ज्यादा उसकी टेंडेंसी होती है टू अंडरगो रिडक्शन. सो सेम चीज यहाँ से एनर्जी से प्रिडिक्ट हो रही है. सो दिस इज हाउ एनर्जी वैल्यूज आर रिलेटेड टू ई नॉट वैल्यूज. अगेन यहाँ पे हमें क्या पॉइंट देखना है कि ये एक्चुअल में डेल्टा जी के इक्विवेलेंट कंसीडर की गई है एनर्जीज जो डेल्टा एच वैल्यूज है, बाय इग्नोरिंग द एंट्रोपी टर्म्स. सो इसीलिए डाउन द ग्रुप जब हम मूव करते हैं हेलोजेंस के केस में इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल डिक्रीज होता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे एनर्जी डिक्रीज हो रही है, जो रिलीज हो रही है कम एनर्जी रिलीज हो रही है फॉर द केस ऑफ आयोडीन इन कंपैरिजन टू फॉर द केस ऑफ फ्लोरीन. सो getting back to the point, the notes. So from here, this is how redox cycles are related to the potential energy, and this is how energy changes can be discussed. So also here third case is for the transition metals. Transition metals का अगर हम देखें sublimation उनकी और ionization potential हाई होता है, क्योंकि उनके melting point हाई होते हैं in comparison to the alkali metals, और उनके sizes small होते हैं. तो दैट इज वाई उनकी सब्लिमेशन एनर्जी और आयनाइजेशन एनर्जी ज्यादा होती है. जितनी ज्यादा होएगी एनर्जी मींस ई की वैल्यू उतनी ही ज्यादा होएगी, मतलब एनर्जी रिक्वायर्ड उतनी ही ज्यादा होएगी. तो इसीलिए हम बोल सकते हैं कि वो लेस रिएक्टिव होते हैं, दे हैव लिटिल टेंडेंसी टू अंडरगो ऑक्सीडेशन. क्योंकि अगर हम मेटल्स का केस डिस्कस, जो हमने अभी लिथियम का केस डिस्कस किया था, वहां पे क्या था, जितनी कम एनर्जी है उतना ही हमारे लिए इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल ज्यादा आ रहा है. इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल ज्यादा मीन उतना ही रिएक्टिव है. यहाँ पे लिथियम सबसे ज्यादा रिएक्टिव है, बट अगर हम ट्रांजिशन मेटल्स की बात करें वहां पे क्या है, ये दो वैल्यूज ज्यादा है. तो ये दो वैल्यू ज्यादा है, तो मीन्स ये एनर्जी की वैल्यू ज्यादा आएगी, ये एनर्जी की वैल्यू ज्यादा आएगी, तो दैट मीन्स इलेक्ट्रोड पोटेंशियल की वैल्यू उतनी ही कम हो जाएगी, मतलब उसकी लिटिल टेंडेंसी होगी ट्रांजिशन मेटल्स की टू अंडरगो ऑक्सीडेशन, which means they are less reactive. So this is how we can explain using the redox cycles. We can explain that some species are having high oxidation potential and or reduction potential, and some are having low reduction or oxidation potential. तो अब एक चीज और हमने डिस्कस करी थी कि डेल्टा जी इज हैज बीन टेकन एज इक्विवेलेंट टू डेल्टा एच। तो उसको हम अगर किसी क्वेश्चन में हमें पूछा जाता है कि हमें ईएमएफ कैलकुलेट करनी है और हमें एनर्जी चेंजेस गिवन है, से ये एक रिएक्शन है जिसमें जिंक इज अंडरगोइंग ऑक्सीडेशन एंड कॉपर इज अंडरगोइंग रिडक्शन। तो यहाँ पे हमने सेपरेट कर लिया है दोनों, रिडक्शन ऑक्सीडेशन हाफ और रिडक्शन हाफ। यहाँ पे ऑक्सीडेशन हो रही है जिंक की, और कॉपर को भी हमने ऑक्सीडेशन फॉर्म में ही लिखा है, ऑल्दो इसकी रिडक्शन हो रही है। तो यहाँ पे अगर हम एनर्जी चेंजेस देखेंगे, हियर इज सब्लिमेशन एनर्जी, दीज आर द एनर्जीज गिवन। यहाँ से हमें एनर्जी मिल रही है -150, कॉपर की हमें एनर्जी मिल रही है +59। नाउ दिस इज द ऑक्सीडेशन हैज बीन शोन हियर, तो दैट मीन्स अगर रिडक्शन होगी जो कि रिएक्शन में हो रही है, तो उसके लिए एनर्जी चेंज क्या होगा -59। तो ओवरऑल एनर्जी अगर हम दोनों को ऐड करें तो इट विल बी -150 -59, बिकॉज यहाँ पे रिडक्शन हो रही है, इसीलिए नेगेटिव साइन लेना पड़ेगा हम। तो डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू यहाँ से क्या आ रही है, -209 किलोजूल पर मोल। अब ये जो डेल्टा एच नेगेटिव आ रही है, और यहाँ से हम प्रिडिक्ट कर सकते हैं अगर डेल्टा एच नेगेटिव है, विच हैज बीन टेकन इक्विवेलेंट टू डेल्टा जी। हमने अभी पढ़ा था कि डेल्टा जी अगर नेगेटिव है, दैट मीन्स रिएक्शन इज फिजिबल इन फॉरवर्ड, दैट मीन्स रिएक्शन इज फिजिबल। और यहाँ से अगर हम ई नॉट सेल कैलकुलेट करें, उसकी वैल्यू पॉजिटिव आएगी डेफिनेटली, क्योंकि डेल्टा जी हमारी नेगेटिव है। इट हैज कम आउट टू 1.09, एंड यही हमारा जो एक्सपेरिमेंटल डाटा है उससे भी मैच कर रही है। तो इस तरह से हम डेल्टा एच की वैल्यू से ई नॉट सेल की वैल्यूज कैलकुलेट कर सकते हैं। सो दिस टाइप ऑफ न्यूमेरिकल्स कैन आल्सो बी asked in your exam. So this is the example. So this is about this whole thing, that how we can use the redox cycles to predict the different trends in the periodic table for the electrode potentials. So next topic we have is redox stability in water. So this will be discussing in the next video. That is it for this video. Thank you so much.